I'm Jon Langston, and you're listening to Like a Farmer.
Hey y'all, it's Pat again for another episode of Like a Farmer powered by Ag American Media. I'm excited for today's guest, a Georgia native, grew up on Alan Jackson. He was even Luke Bryan's first signee at his label company. Jon Langston joins me today to talk about his country music career and what's coming up next. The Like a Farmer episode drops every Wednesday on YouTube and wherever you listen to your audio podcast. Let's get into it. Jon Langston. Jon, thanks for coming on the show today.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm pumped to have you. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. First things first, and we were just talking about it. There's when you think about Nashville, Tennessee, and these country musicians, I'm telling you, it's like an epic pipeline that starts in South Georgia.
Oh, for sure.
Where does that even come from?
What's really cool about the music scene in Georgia is we call it, well, back in the day, we called it the Georgia Circuit. You know, you got your Athens bars, of course, but then you got, back in the day, you had a place called Rum Runners and Tavern and Rudy's and the Plaza, and we go and you play acoustic shows down there, and then you go over to Tifton and go play the Gin down there, and then go down to Blue Water and Valdosta. And it was like this circuit, and people would come to each show. You might have 10 or 20 people just following that circuit on a whole weekend. That was a really cool deal, being a part of just that Georgia circuit and the I guess you'd call it the family, just you go and put out this music and you go hit these different college towns and you just become buddies with I remember me, Cole Taylor, Travis Denny, and Jordan Rager. We call ourselves a 4-wheel drive, and we go hit Statesboro and then Tifton and Valdosta and go and then finish the weekend in Atlanta at Eddie's Attic. And man, it was those weekends took years off my life back then, but we had a blast doing it. And you just create a community and just meet so many talented people, and we all have kind of same background, being from Georgia and the same likes and lifestyle and stuff like that, but also each one of us had a different style that we brought to the table, and it was just a cool show that we did. And it's wild to see how many artists and songwriters come from Georgia, South Georgia, North, all over the state, man. It's just pretty wild to see, and it's cool to be a part of that community for sure.
And I think it's really cool. And you think about why we started the Like a Farmer show, and it's to celebrate rural America. And y'all come from rural America, and rural America is all over the country. It don't matter what state you're in. And you never change. You never forget where you come from. It's like all those boys you just named. It's like, hey, look, we got to come to Nashville because this is where the music is. But we don't miss a weekend when we can to go back home, or to be in a deer stand, or to be on the pond to go catch some fish. You don't forget where you come from, and that's cool. Where do you think that comes from?
I just think it's just in our DNA. It's in our, it's what makes us who we are. I grew up fishing, and I didn't get really to hunt until later in life, like high school, college, and stuff, and really diving into it when I got to Nashville, when I met these guys from Georgia and shared these interests and stuff, and really dove into it. But I really feel like it's just who we are. That red clay runs deep in us, and it's just always good to be reminded of our roots and where we come from. And it's like you say, you got to be in the game up here in Nashville to play and to get to chase a dream. But also we're writing those songs about fishing and hunting, and that life that that we left to come chase a dream. We want to pay tribute to that and never forget it. And I think that shines in our music for sure.
And I think it's cool, and I'm excited to get into it, about, especially on the writing songs. You've lived what you write about, which is really cool. But I want to start where you grew up in. Is it Loganville?
Loganville, Georgia.
Loganville, Georgia.
Grayson, Georgia, around there. Went to Grayson High School. It's crazy. Actually, grew up in the same house my whole life. 5 acres, chickens, all that, and we. It's funny that talking about it now is the house I grew up in went on the market last week. So mom's coming up here full time. You know, it's happening. And it's tough to see the house that built you go on the market. But everything goes its course. But it's just oh man, it's kind of tough to talk about. But it's because that's home. And it's a small town. I think you still look up Grayson, Georgia, 4,500. And it's grown a whole lot since I left. 10+ years ago, and it's crazy to go back and just see, those farms that turned into neighborhoods. It's tough to see those kinds of deals, and you come back up to town, you write about it, and it's just every time you go home, there's a Starbucks where a cow pasture used to be. It's just crazy now, but it's just that's part of life. It's part of times changing and stuff. It's just tough to see, but I grew up in a great tight community and played ball my whole life, and it was a big football community, and we did well, and it was fun, and me and my buddies would get in my old 88 150 and go sink it in a mud hole behind the school and stuff like that. And every time I go back, I think of those things, and I like to write about those times because you don't want to forget about them.
Everything you just said, growing up in a small community, playing football, getting a truck stuck in a mud hole. I mean, that's a country song.
I mean, yeah.
It's like that is you turn on the TV show Friday Night Lights, and that is it.
I mean, people call it cliche and stuff, and it's like, that's how we live, man. I mean, that was it. It's just like, oh, these boys ain't country. They're just writing the cliche stuff. I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of what we did. But
well, it's funny because, and I feel like, and you're probably one of the best at it. Like, there's got to be a test out there, especially in country music. It's changing, as you know, this every single day, which is cool, right? I think country music is getting to be cool. I mean, you look on the Billboard charts and you've got, people that you've never even seen in the genre creating songs. Cool. But there's got to be some sort of test of like, hey, are you really country or you're not? Like, have you ever been on the dirt road?
Oh, I mean, I think I saw Luke Bryan on a podcast one time talking about, he goes, I can get you within 5 minutes on my farm. I can tell if you're country or not. It's just, that made me laugh. That made me think of that. But I mean, it's just, country's so different for everybody. I mean, I'm not one to say, oh, that's country, this is country, that's not, it's just, even in the music, we grew up listening to all kinds of music. T.I., I'm from outside of Atlanta, so I was bumping, T.I. and getting pumped up for football games. I loved it all, man. It was, Lil Wayne, everything. And I think it's cool because country can blend so many different sounds and tell a country story, tell a country song. And I think that's what's awesome about it, is that no matter what it sounds like, it's about what it's saying. And I think that's what makes country.
You're spot on. And so Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, him and I are the one who started this show. And we always had this saying, it's like rural America isn't just a place, it's a lifestyle. And country music is one of those pillars that embodies that lifestyle. And you just hit it right on the head. It don't matter, what the story is, but it's telling a story about within the country song. And it don't matter who's singing it. It's the storytelling aspect. So that's really cool. So, and you hit it on a little bit, but what was your go-to to get you pumped up in the locker room football song?
I mean, being from outside of Atlanta, like those Atlanta artists, like Gucci Mane.
It was the best.
It was just like, I think "Swing My Door" was the biggest song when I was like a sophomore in high school, and like we were like screaming it in the tunnel, like about to go bust heads, and like. But like, I wasn't gonna listen to "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy" when I was going out on the football field. That doesn't get you too far. I mean, it might.
No, I'm with you.
But I'm not. It's just everyone has their own thing, and like I listen to everything. I have so many influences in my music. Listen to Eagles and rap, metal. I mean, I remember 3 Doors Down was huge, and it's just crazy to. I listen to some of my songs and I can hear those different influences, and I think that's what's cool about country, is you can kind of take different styles and different sounds and make it country.
I love that. You grew up playing football, and you played football throughout high school even went to college to play football.
I did.
Tell me about that.
So I played
Gardner
at
Webb,
Gardner Webb. Yeah.
Now, was that Gardner Webb where you were going the whole time, or did you have any other options?
I took a visit to Coastal Carolina. I was gonna go to take a visit to the Citadel, but I didn't want to. I think back when I was 18, I was like, I want to go have a college experience. It would have been awesome, but I think back then I had a different mindset. And, but yeah, took a few visits in other places. And, but yeah, I chose Gardner Webb. I really loved Coach Cunningham. He coached down at Georgia Southern for a while, and Coach Foster also went to Georgia Southern after I left. And they were such great coaches, and I love what they did up there. And I was there for a little bit. I never graduated, which is played up there and had a scholarship and everything. So my mom wasn't too happy about that. But but that's when I got into music, because I think God has a plan for everything. And part of me, my journey was going to Gardner Webb, and they had I had too many concussions, so I couldn't play anymore. My 6'1".
Your sixth concussion on the football field.
Right. It was the scariest day of my life. It was.
What position were you playing?
I was playing linebacker and fullback, going back and forth, and we got a new head coach and got a new offensive scheme, so they moved me to fullback, and so I was hitting that A gap every day, just rocking my brains, and I think took one too hard one day, and I fell to my knees, and I was coming off my fifth one, and did all the protocols. I was out for a few months. Came back, and first drill, we're doing an inside drill, and just me and this guy just met at that A gap, and I just dropped to my knees, and I felt my eyes were open, and I couldn't see a thing. It was like, I could tell it was light outside, but it was so blurry. It was like I hit myself blind. And it was I thought I hit myself blind, and I was just out of it. And I was just like crying to the trainer. I was like, I can't see. Like, what's going on? And went to the hospital and did another CAT scan. They're like, yeah, it's another concussion. And a few weeks later, I went in the office with the coaches, and I was like, this ain't. I want to be able to play ball and throw the ball with my kids when I'm, older, and it's just there's a whole lot more life than football. And I hung up the pads, and I was pretty in a tough spot because I played every year since 6 years old, and I really wanted to finish out my career. And I didn't have any aspirations to go to NFL or anything. I was never the biggest, fastest, or strongest. I just played hard, and that's what got me to where I was at. And I just wanted to finish out my college career, but that was cut short. And so I was pretty down on myself because I worked so hard to get there. And my first year there, broke my kneecap, so I was out my sophomore year and redshirted my freshman year. And junior year, finally get to play a little bit, working hard to get a spot, and then started getting concussions. So it was just back and forth, being injured a bunch. And so I was pretty depressed. And that's when I turned to music as like my therapy. And I wasn't the best guitar player, but I would watch YouTube videos and just kind of.
So you had never picked up an instrument prior to?
Well, I took guitar lessons in 8th grade. We had a little 8th grade band. Yeah. We just wrote songs for fun, but that was it. And then I kind of just put the guitar away and didn't pick it back up till after I got hurt. And I remember. Did
you know you could maybe sing? Like, were you?
Not really. Okay. I was singing by myself in the truck, in the shower. And then I remember one summer I was taking summer classes, and my roommate was in the other room. I'm trying to practice singing and playing at the same time. And it took me forever to figure it out. I remember my roommate would be like, will you please shut up? Will you please just quit? And because it was so bad. And I was like, man, this ain't good. I should probably just hang it up. But I kept doing it. And then I remember I was writing a song. I was singing the melody, and he came in one day. He was like, hey, that was pretty good. Keep it up. And that just gave me a little encouragement that I was on the right track, and kept going, kept working towards it. Because, I just used my football mentality, to never give up, and just I love doing this, so I just need to work at it, just like I did with football. So I just kept writing and wrote a song and did a open mic night, nervous as crap, at the coffee shop that was by the school, and had a few buddies come out to support me, and a few months later did what's it called? A talent show, I guess. I just got up there and sang a few songs, and same buddies were there supporting me. It was awesome. And I go home for Christmas break, and I had a buddy, Josh Manuel. He actually plays drums for Kane Brown now. We grew up together, and he played in bands, and he was a band called Issues, and he's just all over the place. Amazing drummer, amazing talent, great buddy of mine. And he had a little studio in his basement, and I was like, hey, I got this demo, or this song I want to demo over Christmas break. He was like, all right, like, what are you talking about?
Singing.
Yeah, exactly. And I even, my mom was like, what do you want for Christmas this year? I was like, oh, just a couple $100 to go record this demo. She was like, what are you talking about? Like, she had no idea either. I'm like, just having fun with it, not taking it too seriously. I go record the song called Forever Girl,
probably when you think about country music songs, that's top 5.
I appreciate that.
I'm not even joking.
I appreciate that.
It's not a song that's going to get you pumped up. Like, you're not.
No, you're not going out through the
heads on the football field, but
right. But it was just this love song that I just wrote, and it wasn't about anyone specific. I just, it was just kind of like what I see myself getting to one day, I guess. And literally had to Google how to put it up on iTunes. I had no idea. I believe it was like the first mix back. I didn't know what, like, getting it mixed by professionals I don't even think it was like mastered professionally. It was just like right off the computer, first mix. I just plugged it into CD Bay and they distributed it for me, and I plugged in the date that I wanted to. It was like 2 weeks after I got it. Made some cover art. A friend in my college took a picture of me in a I say it's a wheat field, but it was more like a fescue field. And and I just like did it all on my computer, and it was just for fun. I wasn't at that point. I wasn't like, all right, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It wasn't until I put it up, and then it got some traction. And got a couple months later, I got a call from my buddies like, hey, you want to come open up for Chase Rice at our farm party at Kennesaw State? And I was like, I've never played a full band show in my life, but I'm down. And I went back to that basement. We rehearsed all night long, and we got a band together, and they called up a guy named Brad Wagner, who's still my guitar player this day, and we became best friends. And we went the next day, and they paid us some beer, and we played 45 minutes, and it was pretty bad, but it was awesome. I had no idea what I was doing up there.
And you're opening up for Chase Rice.
Yeah,
first ever show.
There's like 600, 800 college kids out there just having a blast, and we were playing a bunch of covers. But that last song we played, Forever Girl, and everyone was screaming every single word, and that was my moment where I was like, oh wow.
And what year was this?
2013.
Yeah,
13.
And it's so cool to see. I think, especially with social media, these are great stories, by the way. Especially with social media, it's easier for these songs to go viral like these days.
Mm-hmm.
But like for them to be able to sing that song back to you in 2013, like shows how good of a track that was.
Man, it's a feeling I'll never forget. It was like, it was such like I literally wrote it on paper, wrote the music to it, put it out, and people actually enjoyed it enough to like listen to it enough to know the words. And like that just meant everything, and it lit a fire in me that night that I was wanting to chase a dream like that.
I love that. It's a good stopping point, because you know what? I want to play a game. Okay? Play a game on this show.
All right.
It's called This or That.
Gotcha.
It's brought to you by Ag America. Ag America, the presenting sponsor of the show.
Gotcha. So
you have to choose a tour to go on the rest of your life. You're just going on one tour the rest of your life. Co-tour. Alan Jackson or Luke Bryan?
Oh my gosh, man. What are you going to do? I mean, sorry, Luke. But I mean, Alan Jackson is like my hero. I mean, Luke Bryan he's the man. He's one of the nicest guys, one of the he took me out on tour. He signed me to his record label at 32 Bridge, and that guy will give the shirt off his back to anybody. But I mean, if we're gonna, and I've been on tour with Luke Bryan. I haven't been on tour with Alan Jackson, so I'll say that.
Okay, there you go. That's your out right there.
Yeah, that's
for
my
Luke.
out.
One type of hunting.
Yeah.
The rest of your life, you gotta go duck hunting or deer hunting.
Deer hunting, without hesitation.
All day.
I don't shake when ducks come in, but when a big old Midwest 5-year-old nasty buck comes walking through, I'm shaking like a leaf, and there ain't nothing like it. I'm telling you.
Well, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Would you rather write a song or perform a song?
Write a song.
Why is that? And you've seen you just told me
I
that
love
you wrote
writing.
forever. Yeah.
I love writing. Like, it'd be awesome. Like, I've written so many songs these past years, and you know, if I never performed them, that's okay because I got it out. Like I got it out of my system, got it off my heart, whatever it is, and and if I get to perform it, great. But there's just something about just getting it out and getting it on paper and getting it on a guitar. I don't know. It's and if it's one that we record and perform, that's awesome. Or another artist performs it, that's cool too. But there's something about writing that does it for me. Yeah.
I can see that, and I'm trying to figure out because you're really good at it, and it's like, are these just experiences that this is real life stuff.
Yeah, it's real life stuff, man, and I love sharing my life with people who come to these shows and support me and stuff. But also, it's like from the beginning, it was therapy for me, and it still is to this day. Like I got to get stuff off my heart, off my chest, and the best way for me is to put it in a song.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, it's Pat, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite companies in the world, Ag America. Ag America is your go-to financial partner for all things agriculture. As the largest independent financial firm dedicated to rural America, Ag America is changing the game of ag lending and leveling up financing options for farmers, ranchers, and landowners all across the nation. And I'll let you in on a little secret. The thing that sets this company apart from the rest is the people. They understand firsthand the unique needs of American farmers and ranchers because many of them grew up on farms themselves. They take a farmer-focused approach to finance, prioritizing relationships over transactions to help you build a stronger financial foundation for not only yourself, but for your family. So whether you're looking to buy land or secure working capital, Ag America has your back. Visit agamerica.com today to learn more and see how they can help you achieve long-term financial success. Because don't ever forget, when farmers thrive, we all do.
So I want to get back to the music. You talked about it a little bit and how good of a guy Luke is, and he is salt of the earth. You were the first person he signed on his label.
Yeah. That was just an honor for him to, even have that conversation with me. It's like, I think we have the same manager, and she introduced us, Carrie Evers.
Yeah, I've heard only but great things about her.
That's like my second mom. She's just the best. And she introduced us at a Christmas party, and we had shared a cigar, got to know each other a little bit and hang out. And later that year, he's keeping up with me and stuff. He's like, "Hey, why don't you come out on farm tour with me this year?" And we did farm tour together. We were out in Indiana, Ohio, Arkansas. I think was one of the shows, and we had a blast. And one night we were a couple beers in, and he's like, "Man, you signed a record deal yet?" And I was like, "Not yet. I'm just doing my independent thing." He's like, "Well, hell, I'll sign you." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And apparently it was something he's been thinking about, but I don't know if that was the time he should have been telling me, but he's like, "Well, if no one's gonna come to you now, I want to get them before they get you." And it was just coming from Luke Bryan, and to say, like, "I want to sign you to a record deal," that just, to have a guy like that in your corner and believe in you, that just meant so much to me. And he's been nothing but great. I can call him up for advice or anything like that. And he's just always been there, just wanting me to have fun with it. And it's awesome.
And this was 2013 too.
This was a few years later. This was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you signed that, and then now it's time. Now, are you in Nashville at this time?
Yeah. So I moved here 2014.
Gotcha. Yeah. Doing the independent thing.
Doing the
that
independent
happens in
thing.
2017.
Right.
And then
signed in 2018.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And then and we all talk about this. I mean, I understand Nashville's it's a 10-year town. Like, what were some moments when you're, releasing Forever Girl, you're opening up for Chase Rice, you're getting signed by Luke Bryan, that you said, hey, I actually can do this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what moments in life happen like that you said, okay, I made the right choice?
Man.
You've had Grand Ole Opry debuts. I mean,
Grand Ole Opry was a big one. That was when I was stepping in that circle. That was a moment I'll never forget. I was like, okay, I'm on the right path. This is one of my goals in this whole journey, and to step in this circle and share the stage with so many legends before me, and that was such an honor. Also, man, I think also too, being able to buy my first piece of ground. That was, that wasn't. It was from doing what I love, playing music and stuff, but also it's been a life dream of mine to be able to buy a piece of land.
Dude, I love this. So where was that located?
It's in West Tennessee.
Okay.
It's called, and when we were, getting everything, deed and all that and lined up, and they were like, well, what do you want to put it under? And I was like, put it under Ozora Farms, I guess. And Ozora is a road I grew up on in Georgia, so I wanted to kind of give a nod to where I'm from, and so that's what we called it or whatever. And so I'm signed to this label, right? And I'm kind of getting off now.
No, you're good.
Oh, but they kind of I was, you got to get permission when you're a label and all this stuff for like logos and stuff like that for photo shoots, music videos, and I was getting annoyed, and I was like, well, gosh, I just want to wear my stuff that I like, and I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll just create my own logo, and I don't want to wear my own merch like my Jon Langston logo stuff. I was like, I'll just, make a farm logo or whatever, and I started, just made my farm logo and just started wearing it, and people were like, oh, where do you get that? And I was like, well, let's sell it.
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, let's sell it or whatever, and we started doing that, and we set it up where, proceeds, portion of the proceeds go to, Dream Hunt Foundation and stuff like that. So that's kind of like where the Ozora comes from. But yeah, that's buying Ozora, that piece of ground out in West Tennessee. That was one of my achievements where I was like, oh wow, like I'm on the right path. Like this has been it was such a gift from God. It was like working towards something, and to be able to achieve a dream like that was really special.
How does the whole Grand Ole Opry thing work? Like, how does that work? Somebody just call you and say,
yeah,
it was a great, you wore your grandpa's watch.
Yep.
I saw it. Tell me about that whole experience.
Yeah, so we were supposed to do my Opry debut April 2020. And then COVID, I literally made the announcement, I think February before the world shut down. Like the week before, it was like February 3rd or 4th or something. I'm on Instagram like, I'm going to Grand Ole Opry in April. Y'all be there. No, you ain't. Think again. Oh, man. So it wasn't until like 2 years later. It was like February 22nd, 2022. Got to do my Grand Ole Opry debut. And yeah, they just, they invite you. They called up and they were like, hey, we want to invite you to come out and do your debut. And it's a whole big deal. There's so much history in that place. And they give you a tour and you get to see all the members, plaques and stuff. And I remember going into my dressing room that day, and I was I'm more nervous than I've ever been in my whole. I don't really get nervous playing live really anymore. I've done hundreds and hundreds, thousand shows or whatever. But that day I was just super, super nervous, and I'll never forget it. I walk in and there's an Alan Jackson quote on the wall. It's not word for word, but it says something along the lines of the reason why you're so nervous right now is what makes country music so great. And I was just like,
and it came from Alan Jackson.
Yeah, who's like my favorite hero, my favorite artist. He's the reason why I love country music. So that was crazy. That was really cool, and it kind of just calmed me down. I was like, all right. Well, God wink right there is like, it's going to be all right. Just do that.
We'd like to take a minute to talk about Blue Otter sunglasses. Blue Otter sunglasses are the shades of choice for country superstars like Luke Combs, Cody Johnson, Riley Green, and Hardy. With Carl Zeiss scratch-resistant lenses, Blue Otter has partnered with Ag America to create the Like a Farmer frames, which benefit farmers and ranchers in rural communities. 10% of each purchase of the Like a Farmer Blue Otter sunglasses goes to Ag America Giving. Go to blueotterpolarized.com and search Like a Farmer. You can also go to likeafarmer.com and click on merch.
What about outside of music now? I mean, what do you like doing?
Oh man, I just
You got the
love.
farm now.
I got a little girl. She's 3. She'll be 4 this year. So we do a lot of hanging out at the farm, and I love just being outside. And, we go fishing a bunch, and we got a little pond. We like to go fishing together, and she loves being outside. Loves to go count the deer in the field, and loves to go feed the deer, and it's my little country girl. I love her. Name's Maggie. She's a light of my life.
Shout out Maggie.
Shout out Maggie. But yeah, I mean, if I'm not, outside of music, I'm really just at the house and having family time. I do love. I mean, if I can get out and go hunting anywhere, I'm get on a hunting trip in through the years. I'm there. A little harder now, just with everything going on, but it's awesome.
And then I maybe saw somewhere, I don't know if this is a thing or not, but maybe a podcast coming out soon?
So we're actually trying to, my brother lives down in South Carolina.
Okay.
So he lived up here for a while. Him and his family moved down there. He got a new job. And so trying to figure out how we're going to do it the right way. We've been wanting to do it for a couple of years now. And finally got, we're just a couple guys that just normal dudes from, brothers, of course, but we're similar, but we're so different. He's kind of like the sport. I love sports and stuff, but he's a golf guy. He's the current events guy. He kind of stays in the know and now and like knows a little bit about everything. I'm more the outdoors guy, that side of things. I got music stuff, creative stuff. He's creative too. And I think, we're just going to talk about anything and everything with sports, outdoors, and kind of combine our worlds. Like I'll ask him questions, he'll ask me questions. And I don't know. I think it's going to be really cool to just see how, because it started out, we usually call each other on Sunday nights, just catch up. And we'll just be laughing, talking. And I'm like, man, we just need to get some microphones and just record this and have a podcast. Because some people might like our conversation. They might not. We'll find out. It's just something fun to do. And we've been wanting to do it for a while, and he's good with the camera. He used to be on the road with me doing all my videos and photography on the road. So that's what he does for a living. So he can do all the camera work and edits and produce it and stuff like that. So I said we'll give it a shot and just talk about all life stuff. And if people like it, they like it. So we're gonna give it a shot.
And what's it called?
Barn and Bogey.
Barn and Bogey.
Kind of combine the sports world, outdoor world.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's next for Jon Langston when it comes to the music side?
Man.
I mean, you're on the road right now.
I don't know. When's this airing?
Well, this is a good question, actually. I mean, the plan was if there was like an album or new songs or something, but the plan may be either the last week of August.
Okay, cool.
So if you've got something.
So by the time this airs, my song, I'm Gonna Love You, should be out by then. We're having actually another meeting today to get that date. So I'm Gonna Love You is coming. I teased the demo on TikTok, and it kind of went a little crazy, and got a lot of good feedback, and got in with my producer Brad. So he's my producer now, Brad Wagner, and we've been working hard, writing a bunch of songs and getting a bunch of demos done. And I actually got the master back this morning for I'm Gonna Love You. It's coming out. It should be out. We don't know, but we'll see.
Did you write that?
I did.
So the Wagner guy, I saw a quote about him, and he said something about you that embodies who I like to fight for, right? Being the farmer. And he made it, your work ethic is unmatched. Like you just go out and you just work hard at whatever you're going to do. Where does that come from?
Man, I think it's just, I always say like the football thing too, like it was, being competitive and all that. That has a little to do with it, but I think a lot, my granddad had a bit impact on me and my work ethic and striving for a goal, and he really embodied that in me. And I think it's just I'm a big goals guy. I have goals set up on my whiteboard, of like short-term goals and long-term goals, and I've always had that, since I was a little kid. I always wanted to go play college football. I had that since I was in middle school written down. I really think writing down goals really help you achieve them. They call it manifestation, but it's like kind of you see it, and it's a reminder of what you want to work for. And it's just been instilled in me since I was little to work hard for what you want to do. And I've always just had that mentality, and I think I owe it a lot to my granddad, for sure.
That's awesome. I went off track on that. So the new song's coming out, and then what else coming up? You're on the road right now.
On the road. We're going on a long run. We're going to Montana for the first time into this month, so that'll be cool. Get to check that. Stayed off the list.
Will that be the last state to check off?
No, I still got Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay, those are the only two?
Yeah, only two.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. So if we want to book a show in Hawaii, Stephen, let's do it.
Hey,
we might be there for a little bit. I won't hate that.
I get asked that all the time. So Ag America, the presenting sponsor of the show, I mean, what they do is they lend money all across the country to farmers, ranchers,
awesome.
Investors that just want to buy a hobby farmer, recreational piece. And they're in Hawaii. Hawaii's a big ag state, man.
Really?
Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Big time coffee. They got some cattle out there, so
that's cool.
They probably love country music out there.
We'll figure it out. Well, if they don't, I'll still enjoy
it. Still blows my mind. I really appreciate you coming on the show today. But the fact that, and the storytelling on this show, and that's the number one thing that I love to do and to hear is storytelling. So when I listen to like Forever Girl, which is a top 5 country song, in my mind, Jon Langston's been singing his whole life. This lucky bastard, he's just got the voice of an angel. He can play. Dude, I don't even think he could sing until like maybe college. He's just telling me this. He definitely wasn't playing an instrument, and now you're where you're at. Like, that's unbelievable how you got there.
I appreciate it. I think it's just working hard for it, and really, like I said earlier, for football, like I was never the strongest, fastest, or the best of. I was never ranked high for recruiting, but I worked my butt off. And I played hard, and I feel like I have that same mentality when it comes to my music. Like, I wasn't the best singer, but I worked to get to where I'm at today. Just practicing, singing, really diving in and playing every day, writing songs, writing every single day to try to hone that craft because I love it, and I feel like when you love something, you work hard to get better at it, and I feel like that's just. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot. I really do.
What do you say to the people when you think about who embody rural America, where you come from, our farmers, our ranchers, our blue-collar folks, our people that, the essential workers, the people that have to work 24/7, the people that love your music, that are your fans? Like, what are some things that you would say to them out there?
I just want to tell them, thank you so much for allowing me to, chase a crazy dream. Thank you for showing up, spending your hard-earned money to come out to these shows. And because in this economy, it's just crazy. And for somebody in rural America to spend the $25 a ticket to come out to, Coyote Joe's or, Rootstown, Ohio, to the Dusty Armadillo to come see me sing for 90 minutes, that means everything to me. I really appreciate that. I really do. Because I get to do what I love, but also we get to share these songs that are relatable and we can all relate together and sing together, and that's just really cool. And I just want to say I appreciate every single person out there that's came out to the shows, that's streamed my music, that's told somebody about my music, that follows me on socials, that really care. So many people come to meet and greets and ask me how my daughter's doing or how my dog's doing. They care, and it's just that means a lot. And that people take the time to hear my music and then see the stories behind it and care enough to like pay for a ticket and just see how I'm doing. It means a lot. And I feel like that always gets kind of maybe looked over a little bit and gets lost in all the noise. But I am so thankful that I've been able to do this for so long, and it's amazing.
That's spot on. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
today,
thank
man.
you, man.
Well, I'm saying it right here. I got to bring you down to the farm. We're gonna go kill an Osceola bird.
Hey, I never
A true Osceola bird.
I need a true one.
Okay,
I never have.
I know y'all Georgia folks. Y'all that line. It seems like the line
We
continues
got them
to get.
hybrids.
That's what I'm saying. They're hybrids. I don't want to hear it anymore.
No, I hear you.
Jon Langston, everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. Do whatever you got to do. Be like a farmer.